So this is our last week. We're going to work on detail in this painting. So detail includes, a lot of the fine things. I've already actually just experimented with putting some figures in on the painting. So I'll show you, and some dogs. So I'll show you those, how I did those. But overall, I'd say my starting point would be this. That I'd be looking at my overall hue and value. So I've spent a bit of time doing this, as you know. I'm the guy who's supposed to be leading here. So I've given a lot of thought to, have I got my sky right? Have I got my beach colour right? Have I got my ocean right? So I've been looking at this and comparing it with this and, putting them up on the wall side by side and trying to make some sense. So I'm currently in the process of making my sky lighter, and I'm going to continue with another coat. It's pretty simple. I just put a bit of tape down and I can see the colour I've got, and then I just mix up a slightly whiter version of that with blue in, the cobalt blue, and then put it on and have a look. But excuse me, I'm overall pretty happy with my ocean. I'm happy with my beach. I'm going to be putting some little dips and dabs on that, people and also footmarks and things. So that will take on a slightly darker appearance. These little bits of, I guess they're footprints along the beach and little imperfections. So I'm going to add them. So they will darken up my beach, which currently is, I guess, a base colour, and the darker colour will go on the top of that. Okay, so that's the first thing I do, just overall adjustments of trying to get the light right. And I put in these figures and I thought, oh wow, this is starting to really look realistic. The white and the people and that edge of the water and the sand and the green of the water, looking, like a real realistic combination of colours. So I was happy with that. And obviously got more to do in other parts. So let's have a look at how you would tackle people on the beach. In the photo, in the image itself, there are a number of people that are on the beach. So I've had a go at tackling these 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 dogs and 3 people. It's not terribly difficult. I've got a mix here, but it's a little bit on the green side, so I'll mix something that's a bit darker. So I'm going to use my lamp black as a starter, and I've got no liquid in this mix, so it's a little bit stodgy. So I'll just dip into my liquid and off I go. I don't want it to be black, black, black. I just want it to be reasonably black. Now, I have been really looking after my paintbrushes. You can see how there's quite a nice straight edge there. So I've been looking after my paintbrushes, and what that means is I've been rinsing them in the solvent, terps, and then I've been in oil, and then I've been using a detergent to wash the oil out. So they're they're still not gluggy, they're still, they feel like they're moving quite nicely. So let's have a look here. I've got, as you can see, I've put some people in there. So then I've got someone sitting on the beach here, and someone, so I'll just sort of roughly set things up where they are. So these 2 people here, I'll have a go at painting them. Okay, so I'll take that out of the image, and it's quite close work, so I will show you where they are. They're basically around about here. I'll just check. This is fairly dry, but I would advise you to do this onto a dry beach surface. So I've got 2 figures. I put a little bit of this dark on, and honestly, I just touch a bit on like that. So something like that. And then I might flip my brush over a bit. and a second one. Not quite as thick. So it looks like that. So I'm just using the real edge of that brush to generate the kind of small mark that I want. And I think you would say, you know, that's sort of ballpark pretty good. Now, if I want to manipulate that at all, I'll use my dry brush. And so I just kind of nibble away at down at the legs, for instance, just to make a part of it a little bit thinner or a little bit longer. Yeah, so I'll just see if I can we'll try this, just put a little bit in, but I hardly put any pressure on this. And yeah, they're my two little figures. Whoops, off. I could probably make these a little bit darker, so let me try that. Oops. Yeah, normally, if I wasn't doing this for a video, I'd have it down on the... Oh, and there's a dog here. Another little doggy there. Now, I kind of squash this a little bit. So I'm going to do that. And here's my terps. So I'm just going to get a bit of terps on this brush, just so that it's like super efficient at taking the paint off. You know, it's a solvent, as you know. So I'll just come in. Oh, look at that. It's just done it. No problems. Oh. Okay. Look, I'm pretty happy with that. So to sum up that sort of detail, you need your smaller brush, but it needs to be in good condition. And what good condition means is that it's got good movement in it. You know how when you put a bit of pressure on it, it's got a bit of give in it. It's still soft. It hasn't clugged up. And so, yeah, that's how you could put a series of figures in there. You don't need to worry too much about the colour. It's basically a dark tone rather than a colour itself. And yeah, just put in a very gentle little sort of touch to get those figures in. So that's the figures. So look, we've been going for nearly 7-8 minutes on that. So that's probably a pretty good time to finish. So I'll come back now and we'll look at the ridge in the next video.